Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I'm here with the Duality Cup, and I'm more than two-thirds of the way through. I'm actually at the last 12 races. Part of the reason I start this late is because, quite honestly, before this point, everything's so easy that it's not really worth watching. When things get more interesting, it's actually the last few races. Now, either you have the two cars or you don't, but in this case, I was able to pull this silver 959, which actually turned out to be quite a nice car. So this is a car that is worthy of getting with gold keys because after you acquire it, you can build it, and it actually turns out to be a decent live racer. Any car that's usable in live and beats dyno can be used in map as well. So this is all around a car that can actually be around a while and actually be used for some purposes. Now, that being said, there are many decent cars now just coming from milestones. So do you really have to spend the gold keys to get this car? No. But it is a good car in the sense that it can do a lot of things well, and it particularly seems to be pretty strong in live. Now, that being said, Porsche fusions are not so easy to get. Okay. And if you don't have the fusions, let's say you get the car, you get to this point in the event where you're about 10 races in from when you had to switch to this car, things won't get too tough yet. I mean, I saw somebody on Facebook apparently got through with no fusions and just a lot of stage 6s. But the reality is fusions makes the evo point, and evo points make RP. So if you plan to use this car outside of this event, you're going to want the fusions installed, and you'll get some in the event, and you'll get some from crates, and you can ultimately get this car ready. Now, the rewards from Duality Cup actually is pretty decent. 100 keys here, 100 gold there. It really does add up, and also you get some of your gold keys back. So let's say you spend 70 gold keys, but at least you get 17 back. That doesn't sound like much, but if you were lucky and you got this car, say, in 2 polls, 3 polls, and you did 30 keys, it would actually be worth it. Out of the two, if I were to look at this F40, oops, that's not the way you drive that, by the way. You're looking at this F40, and you compare the F40 to the Porsche, which car is the better one to build? What if you're newer and you only have one car to build? I can tell you right now, the Porsche is much harder to build. Okay, and out of the two cars, I would say the Porsche is the one that actually ends up slightly better, in my opinion, once built. But you're much more likely to get the Ferrari built than you're going to get this Porsche built if you're a newer player. If you've been around a while and you've been through a few Porsche events and you have fusions laying around, that's different. Then I would say build the Porsche. But if you're fresh off coming into this game and don't really understand it that much yet, the Ferrari is probably your better call. Is either car absolutely necessary to own? No, not really. Neither one really are absolutely necessary. Again, you see, they're speed traps, they're sprints. None of these are all that difficult. This speed trap that's coming up now, actually, for this car with stage 5 only, would easily beat it. Now, I actually managed for the stage 6 that the game does give you, I managed to get a body. I have already installed it. So this car is running full stage 5 plus body plus fusions. And as you can see, it's like a very easy speed trap for it to hit. Now, if you're not running any stage 6s and you're missing fusions, that may actually be a semi-challenging one. But even then, I don't think it's really that challenging for 156 mile per hour. This car can easily hit 260. In fact, this Porsche can beat all challenges for Tempest 3 Tier 4 if you have at least tire and trans stage 6s to do these sprints. That's the key. The tire and trans stage 6 allow you to beat the sprints, ultimately allowing you to beat that 1.30 to 60 sprint, 1.36 actually. But those two stage 6s will not get you through the 260 mile per hour. You need nitrous engine, either one, combined with tire and trans to get 260, or at least 2 other stage 6s with tire and trans to get 260 mile per hour. So keep that in mind, that 260 mile per hour does require some stage 6s as well. But ultimately, you can actually beat Tempest 3 Tier 4 all challenges with just 3 stage 6s. That's nitrous, tire, and trans, or engine, tire, and trans. They can all do the same job. So you're able to beat everything with that. And look at this car. It's easy to drive, easy to launch, beats dyno, and just all around a pretty decent car. My dyno, I just did a 12.142 there. My dyno is actually like a 12.3 or 4. So my dyno is like a 12.4 actually. So you're talking almost 3/10 under dyno. That's pretty impressive. And that is going to translate to a lot of wins when you bring this car over to a live racing situation. Okay, another speed trap. Let's see what it raised up to. Again, 166. It's a 7 mile per hour bump. No, about 10 mile per hour bump. But again, I did 200 plus earlier, so this is going to be no brainer to get through. Now, if you really are pushing for speed trap, what you do is you minimize nitrous duration. You use it in 5th gear. If you don't have, if you're cutting it close and you don't have enough to just run right over, this car will beat its theoretic speed trap by a little bit. Usually within 10 mile per hour, but at least 4, 5 to 7 mile per hour over is easy. All right, these relays, now they get tougher, but the beauty of is that they're quarter-mile runs, first of all, but also I have the F40 fully maxed. Now that F40 is a high-end acceleration car, not a launch hard type car, so it will not beat Tempest 3 Tier 4 final sprint, but it can actually be most of the other things. It's a good car too, but because mine's fully maxed, it kind of buffers against these races, so I'm going to win this real easily because the F40 is so well built that it'll just run off on the first guy. Now, even if it loses, it won't lose by that much, giving my second car a much better shot against whatever's coming. Looks like another T5 opponent, but the first one gave me a nice time gap that I can use to take off. So by the time that car gets moving, I'm already a third way down the track. So again, this is why this is still easy race. And this is very consistent to how these events work. You will not get really difficult opponents until the very end. And that's because, in my opinion, the developer knows that if they make it too hard in the beginning, you're not going to want to finish it. If you're at race 38 or 39 and that's where you get stuck, you're going to want to finish it. I mean, you got that far. We're at race 35 now, coming up on 36. And as you can see, this is why I didn't do the first 30 races, because it's so easy that it's kind of pointless to showcase it. You're not really being challenged for anything. So 7, 8, 9, 10, we're right there. And this is where you're going to see the escalation of difficulty, right? But it's not going to be impossible. It's just going to get more difficult. All right, let's see how challenging this race will be. I didn't look at it. I think it's not that bad. The EB110 is kind of a slow car when it's legend and unrestored, so I can't expect it to really be too difficult. And I'm pulling away. That's a nice gap. So that's no problem either. That's an easy one. So 12.1 something or 12.2 run. And the opponent is still doing 13.8. Okay? 13.8. So 12.156 against a 13.8. All right. Another 100 bronze keys to put towards those crates in case you need them. In the end, if you get one stage 6 and it's the wrong one, for example, if it's turbo or intake and it barely changes the time, then ultimately you're going to have to spend some bronze keys. Now, this event is not a money event. The crates are actually free bronze crates. You're not actually going to end up having to spend real money unless you just don't have bronze keys on hand, in which case you may end up spending something. Or you don't have gold keys and you really want the car, you're going to have to pay for them. Another easy race. This is actually looking relatively simple up to this point. We're at like race 37 we just finished. It's still 13.5. Going to race 38. Get some nice epic Porsche fusions here. 3 of them. 4 of them. 4 anymore? 5. Wow, not bad. 5 epic fusions. Although I only got turbo and intake. I mean turbo and engine I think for all of them. But engine actually usually takes quite a few epics for tier 5, so I'm not complaining. Alright, let's see how difficult this one is. This is race 38. Nope, no, no. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, it's pulling away. It's pulling away. So this one's not bad either. Look at that. Putting a nice gap on him. Again, decent run. Let's see. What? Oh, look at that. Look at that. 12-9 now, but the next race is extreme. All of a sudden now it's extreme. So that's what I'm talking about. There will be a hurdle race like this. Race 39 is it for this cup, where either your Porsche is ready or you're going to have to upgrade it. I mean, this is standard fare for this game anymore. I always expect to get to near the end and then potentially get stuck. All right, extreme. Let's see. This car isn't likely to change either if I lose and have to come back. Ah, no, shifted too quick. Don't beat me. Extreme means he's going to be right there at the end. I mean, that it only makes sense. Well, he's coming. He's coming. He's coming. Oh. Ha! I got it. I got it. So, oh, and I didn't even drive that well, but 12-2. I could have gotten a 12-1 if I drove better, but 12-2-1-2 the opponent ran. That's not that. It's not slow. That's actually very quick. Think about it. Stage 5 only. This car only runs about a 12-6. So that's a easy 4/10 more you got to shave off, and I have the right stage 6 to pull it off. That's the main reason I got this. So right there, finish that race, and now we can finally look to the last race, 12-2 against 12-2. That was a close one. That was very close. But despite the fact that it's saying it's extreme, I was able to beat it. And chances are the next one will also be extreme. Yep. So the relay is showing extreme, but relays are a little different. I'm not as intimidated by relay extremes because I have a maxed F40. Even though the second car isn't as strong, that extreme may be still very beatable. Okay, all right, you can't really see that line on the bottom, but this is 3/4 extreme. This is not 100% extreme. That tells me it's only going to be decently challenging. This is not going to be super bad. Let's go ahead and tackle it. But I'm pretty confident I won't have a problem with this. Unless I see all 4 bars fully red, I'm usually not too concerned. Especially for relays, because one of these cars I know is really built, so it's going to compensate for the others. Okay. Only thing is don't screw up. Don't screw up too bad when you're driving the first car, right? All right. So now the Jesco is pulling away, and it did beat me by a bit, but let's see what the second car is. I forgot what the second car was. Ah, it's a T2. Yeah, it's just, yeah, no problem. I mean, it's still showing extreme, but it's not going to be an issue. I'm going to beat this guy, even with the delay. I mean, 2/10 delay, big deal. That's a T2 car. Even if it was a fully maxed T2 car, I think in a quarter mile, my Porsche would destroy it. So here we go. All right, let's go ahead and set it up. He gets a 2/10 advanced start, which is barely enough to get a move. Look at that. He's barely moving. And I'm already taking off. It's over. Look at the gap. I mean, this is not an extreme race. This is like a joke. It's easy. So again, don't get too intimidated by the 3/4 extreme kind of races. I think it's just because it's the last race, so automatically the challenge looks tougher. All right, there it is, 10 gold keys back. So in total, I think I got 17 gold keys out of this event, and I spent about 30 gold keys. So event complete. Let's go look at my my gold key count, because I'm pretty sure I got this car right here on just 3 pulls. Now let me show you what I did with the car. So only stage 6 I have is body. Okay, everything else is stage 5 only. But it is full fusion. I did have fusions. All right, so let's take a look at how many keys it took. That was 3 pulls. 3 total pulls. I was pretty lucky because a lot of people had to go through to loyalty. But I started off with enough keys to pull 3 without worries. And now I got 17 back. I'm at 53 for whatever reason. But point is, 17 more keys will put me back to 70. And hopefully by then, next time something comes along, you know, the 3 pulls didn't break me as far as, I think I had 70 plus keys at the beginning is what it is. All right, well, so that is the Duality Cup. It's not really a paid event, and I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. And again, this is a very nice car. I do like this car. It is a classic. It should almost be a legend car, but it turned out that this is one of the better new Tier 4 cars that I've run across. In any case, let me know your thoughts. If you like the video, leave a like. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Hit the little bell thing so you can get notifications. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.